goes the full-time whistle. Cork, without ever going into top gear, are through to the Munster final. Full-time score in Páirc Uí Chaoimh, Cork 219, Limerick 12 points.
Again, we probably a bit like the league final, played as maybe a 9 or 10 man team rather than a 15-man game, which we did against Tipperary. And that to me would be the main thing. But we had a few outstanding performances today, and I'm pleased with that.
So we're just looking forward to Waterford in 3 weeks' time. Like, we know Waterford's going to be an absolute huge battle. Like I think every time we play them, there's a puck of the ball in it, and the prize is huge. Like, you beat Waterford, you're through to a semi-final in Ireland. You lose, you're in a quarter-final, and we're no different than any team. We want to go straight in the front door.
Look, we're disappointed coming down here. We're a proud Hurling county, and there's some great lads in that dressing room, and we have to come in thinking we have a great chance to win, and of course we want to be disappointed. It's Munster Championship, and Limerick's record in the Munster Championship in the last decade isn't good enough, and we're a proud Hurling county, and we just have to work at that, and hopefully next year we can give the Munster Championship a better rattle.
Next year is an interesting year for Limerick, but before we chat about Limerick, Donald, what about Cork? It was no win for them, really, was it?
No, and it's very, very difficult days to get up for a game like that, because you're expected to win, and you know deep down that, look, no matter how good or bad you play, you're going to get over this one, and that means your focus is going to drop then. And Cork, to an extent, went through the motions, played half, three-quarter pace. Like, wouldn't have done against Tipper, wouldn't do against Waterford, but it was good enough to beat Limerick today.
So what did you pick out then?
Well, I thought early on the only hope Limerick had was a good start, and Isaac Alpine picked out Pat Horgan here with a nice little pass, and once he was pulled down, ended up as a penalty. And Pat Horgan is very good at striking these, and there's no question but that it was a penalty. Hit it very well to the left of the keeper, up to the right corner back where he was, and great goal, and that put Limerick under pressure. So Cork were able to pick out little points at will. Really good point there by Niall McCarthy to Jerry O'Connor, and then just support out of the play, and the simple little thing, right? But Cork, this was at the end of the first half. Now it began to, a bit of self-indulgence, and this, Ben O'Connor's well capable of knocking 65s over the bar, and gives it to Lachlan McLaughlin eventually, and the ball is struck wide. And if you were a manager on the line, like, you'd be cracking up over this. And the next clip,
what happened to them last year in the All-Ireland semi-final when they were humiliated? Dublin beat them by 31 points in the league. So wasn't this actually? They got into championship action. They did better than last year's team.
It was. I stand corrected. It was a very brave performance. But that's only covering up the bigger issue, what's going on here, and that is what's going on in Limerick hurling. I personally am very disappointed with the Limerick County Board. I'm very disappointed with Justin. Justin's a Cork man. He's not a Limerick man. Justin can walk away from Limerick hurling. The Limerick County Board can't walk away from their responsibility to the clubs of Limerick and to the hurling fraternity in Limerick. Justin was brought in to try and amalgamate and bring together 3 under-21 All-Ireland winning teams. That didn't work out. Bulk of the players walked away or were dropped by Justin and refused to come back. Once that happened, where does principle come into it? That Justin, in my view, should have turned to the Limerick County Board and said, what you guys brought me in for, I can no longer proceed with and do, because the players have lost faith in me. The Limerick County Board stood back and allowed this thing fester. And I mean, it was a very brave performance. You have a lot of sympathy for those guys that are out there today. They're proud to wear the jersey. Their families are down there watching them today, and they're proud of them. And many Limerick people will be proud of them. But that's irrespective. That's not good enough, Matt, at the end of the day.
Liam, you feel sorry for some of the players today as well. You think they were asked by the county board or by Justin McCarthy to bear an unreasonable burden?
Yeah, well, let's be honest about this. No one has given the exact full facts. Like, when there's all sorts of rumour that the players were texted, told they weren't about to go on the panel or not. But whatever happened, it should have come out exactly as it was, and the decision should have been made. It's just not fair to the young lads to bring them on like that. I mean, they were never going to refuse Limerick jerseys, so it's unfair to them to expect them to go out and perform and be able to do it at the highest level. And they'd be punishing the wrong fellas, really. At the end of the day, it still all boils down. Management must manage. The management of that team is the responsibility of the Limerick County Board. Now, I don't know, maybe these players did something dreadful on Justin that none of us know about. I don't know anything about that. But the Limerick County Board's job is to manage on behalf of the team and to let it fester. As I said earlier, in the wake of the Cork situation before it, we have precedent, like, and I just think that's just bad management top to bottom.
Yeah, could it be? I mean, there were 12 players were left off the Limerick squad. Now, no matter what the circumstances, other players left, so 24 of last year's squad unavailable this year die. Now, could it be there are times when the manager and the administrators are right? We were looking at what's going on with the French World Cup soccer team at the moment. The players are backing Nicolas Anelka, who'd shown disrespect to the manager. I mean, could there be times when you have to say the manager's right?
Yes, of course, and Liam is right. Managers have to manage, and everybody has their part to play. And players are expected to go out and play, train to the best of their ability, and do what they can when they pull a county jersey on. Manager has got to get the guys together, you know, try to get them to perform to the best as possible, and the county board then puts in place and facilitates everything that the manager requires to make it happen. I think the problem here is principally that the county board, once this whole issue blew up and the players had withdrawn their services and Justin was digging his feet in, the county board went, I think a county board meeting maybe in February, a county board meeting in March, and it wasn't on the agenda because it wasn't adhering to procedures. Now, as we related earlier on, you wouldn't run a business like that. There was a problem in Limerick hurling. The Limerick people, and I know the people in Limerick as well as you do, Jamesy, you know, and you were talking to them on a regular basis and they were aghast at what was going on. I mean...
But then why did nobody take a grip of it? Are there not strong personalities in Limerick? Were there not mediators who could have been brought in from the outside? Could this not have been dealt with months ago?
Well, I have a major issue here where Croke Park, you know, come out and say we can't involve ourselves at county board level. I think that's a cop-out and a walk-away. You know, we can assume that Justin has been recompensed by the Limerick County Board or Supporters Club or whoever it is. And if that's the case and he has been paid and the players and 24 players refuse to play under him and the county board lets it fester, Croke Park can't walk away from that.
Yeah. And how it will affect their development is a big question. And of course, you know, that banner maybe says it all, you know, what's going to happen for next year, because this year is over for them anyway.
Without getting into the whole debate of the season that's gone, Ger, but that sign shows the frustration, and there were lots of Limerick supporters there today.
Yeah, you see,
it was a third choice team in effect, wasn't it?
It was terrible, and even yesterday when I was at the fair talking to different people, you know, they were totally disgusted, even though they're not from Limerick, because the Munster Championship is kind of sacred to everybody, and everybody wants to see big games in the Munster Championship. You know, 13,000 there at Limerick and Cork, one of the big rivalries in Munster. It's terrible to see it, but you know, if you can ask anyone a solution, they're all saying the Limerick County Board. The Limerick County Board are not going to solve this, because the Limerick County Board is made up of fellas who are genuine. You know, they're not devious in any way, but they're the type of fellas you'd have in charge of a junior B team. You wouldn't put them near a senior team. You know, honest people, but they haven't the ability to solve this. So the solution,
who can solve
the
it?
solution has to come from the outside. I mean, the GA have to take responsibility. They're one of the units, one of the family, as they call it. One of the family has gone astray, and who can sort it out? Only a higher authority. And the higher authority has to be Croke Park. And I think Paulie Duffy and Christy Cooney, you know, and I like both of them now. I think they have a huge responsibility to get people around the table and to sort this out, and to sort it out very, very quickly, because there is a big danger that Justin could be there for the next 2 years, and that will bring about the total destruction, because you saw the other team today, they tried very hard, they were honest guys, but they're way below the standard. And you know, the spin will put on it, oh, give these a few more years and Limerick will have a team. They won't have a team, they won't be as good as that again.
If Christy Cooney and Porrick go down and say, whatever, remove him or stop the players, the county board are entitled to say, we appointed this man and we want to back him. Well, so how can they get involved in that?
I think, you know, what started in Cork with the people started it. You know, the people.
Well,
you know,
eventually
the people will sort it. Eventually, the people will have to sort it,
right.
and it'll stay as bad as it is until the people do sort it. You know, the people have to, because the county board are unable to do it on their own. And I think number one, Justin has to go. And in any other county, what would you have? You'd have the like of Stephen McDonough, Kieran Carey, great fellas like that, who have great ability. TJ Ryan, put them in charge of the team, and they would revive the spirit of Limerick. And that's all people want. They want to see the spirit of Limerick revived again, and I think that is the only solution to it.
And Tommy, is it easy to revive the spirit of Limerick?
Well, look, I mean, it's about getting the best players on the pitch. When that happens, you know, that's the first thing. As the lad said, you just couldn't look at that for another season, in all fairness. And as Donald rightly pointed out, it's very difficult on those players. You could hear the despair in Brian O'Sullivan's voice after the match. I mean, it's very, very difficult. They're doing their level best, and they're after suffering some heavy defeats, and that'll take a while to get out of their system.